Did you know that Dean McDermott failed to make alimony payments to his first wife? Have you heard that McDermott's current wife, Tori Spelling, no longer sleeps in the same bed as her husband? Keep watching as we dig deeper into the shady side of Dean McDermott. Dean McDermott's relationship with Tori Spelling unfolded in a very public manner, as they allowed fans to peer inside their personal life while the cameras rolled, in spite of the very public lifestyle they shared. Some aspects of McDermott's private life were tucked away and kept concealed. When McDermott left his wife and son in pursuit of a relationship with Spelling, very few people were aware that he had been in the middle of adopting a child with his first wife, Mary Jo Eustace, a process he would eventually completely abandon. It has been revealed that after having their son Jack, Eustace suffered a series of miscarriages and failed fertility treatment procedures, according to court documents. The couple then decided to apply to adopt a child. However, after a 3-week affair with Spelling, McDermott not only abandoned his wife and son, but he also rescinded his involvement from the adoption process. His ex-wife continued forward with the adoption and is now the single parent of their son Jack and her adopted daughter Lola. Some of the sketchiest moments captured between Dean McDermott and Tori Spelling involve McDermott's confessions about his struggles with sex addiction and infidelity. During season 1 of the reality show True Tori, a family friend asked McDermott why he cheated on Spelling. McDermott replied,
"Because I didn't think that I would get caught."
McDermott also cited his alcohol and drug use as an excuse. Fans looked on while Spelling processed the devastating news that McDermott had cheated on her with Emily Goodhand. The embattled couple's worst moments were captured on camera for the world to see. Season 1, Episode 5 of True Tori exposed a dramatic, emotional scene in which Spelling cried hysterically while she described the pain caused by McDermott's cheating. Spelling said to him,
"There's no happy ending. I don't believe it anymore."
She sobbed and spoke of the impact this would have on the 4 children they shared at that time. McDermott was remorseful, telling her,
"I am so sorry. I made a mistake. I ruined everything."
An addiction to drugs and alcohol also plagued Dean McDermott's relationship with Tori Spelling. McDermott admitted to his substance abuse problem and was made aware of the impact his actions had on his family. He claimed his issues with drugs and alcohol were so extensive that they contributed to his poor decision-making. During Season 1, Episode 3 of True Tori, McDermott was discussing his infidelity with a friend and said, "I was drinking and using drugs, man. I have a brain that wants me dead. That's how the alcoholic mind works and thinks. I have a couple cocktails, do a couple lines, shut it down after 3 lines. Yeah, you can do that." Recognizing the consequences of his actions, he continued,
"I need to change. I am on the verge of losing everything."
In January 2014, McDermott checked himself into rehab and declared that he was experiencing some health and personal issues, according to TMZ. Dean McDermott and Tori Spelling routinely invited fans into their home and personal life through their reality television show. They shared a slew of announcements and family updates with the world on this platform. They had also frequently used their social media outlets to update fans on other aspects of their lives. Shockingly, the couple didn't acknowledge one another on a very special day, their 15th wedding anniversary in 2021. This sent a red flag to fans that their marriage was struggling significantly. McDermott and Spelling completely skipped over the occasion, failing to make mention of its significance by appearing together in public or writing about one another on social media the way they had done so many times before. As of June 2022, onlookers would need to scroll all the way back to December 2020 for a sighting of McDermott on Spelling's Instagram. Even then, the family Christmas card shows the mum holding up a picture of McDermott, who was apparently filming in Canada when the holiday photo was taken. Oddly enough, McDermott included Tori Spelling in a carousel post for International Women's Day in 2022. Dean McDermott faced heavy scrutiny for living large with Tori Spelling and their shared children, while the first family he created waited in the shadows in anticipation of receiving their support payments. McDermott claimed he was unable to complete alimony payments due to his financial hardship, but according to his ex-wife, He seemed to be living a luxurious life with his other family, while declaring that he was experiencing overwhelming financial difficulties. McDermott boasted the happiness in his life all over social media. Even with unpaid child support looming over him, he and Spelling embarked on an expensive family vacation to Punta Mita, Mexico's Four Seasons resort, and continued to live their lives in a very carefree manner. McDermott appeared to have access to money. However, he seemingly chose to spend the funds in a different way. Rather than applying them toward payments for his first child, Jack, he said that he had supported Jack, but also refuted his ex-wife's claims that Tori's mother, Candy Spelling, supported his lifestyle. McDermott told the Daily Mail in 2017, "If that were the case, do you not think that I would have paid Mary Jo off a long time ago? Because I want nothing to do with the woman." McDermott also claimed that business deals and social media agreements funded his lavish travels. Dean McDermott got a good scare when he was almost arrested in 2008, and the circumstances surrounding this fiasco were far from ordinary. On his Daddy Issues podcast with co-hosts Nicki Paris and Adam Hunter, McDermott revealed that he and Tori Spelling were vacationing in Las Vegas when they were informed that Paris Hilton had dropped off an envelope for them at their hotel's reception area. As McDermott recalled on his podcast, a staff member told him,
"Mr. McDermott, we've located the package, and we strongly suggest that you don't take the package."
Security guards surrounded the actor, and he was warned that he would be immediately arrested if he retrieved the item. He described being utterly confused about the situation, as he was completely unaware of what had been delivered for them. It turns out that Hilton had left a gift for McDermott and Spelling to enjoy that wasn't legal. She had packaged some weed for the couple, not realizing the trouble McDermott would have been in had he not been cautioned to leave it alone. McDermott noted on his podcast, "You could see this envelope with this big, huge bud in it. Like, the envelope flap wouldn't even close. Like, it gaped. And as soon as she brought it out around the corner, you could smell it." During his marriage to Tori Spelling, Dean McDermott was photographed without his wedding ring on, making fans wonder if that was a sign that their marital problems were irreconcilable. He was seen with a naked ring finger in July 2021 when he stopped to pump gas. One ring-free sighting can easily be shrugged off, but when McDermott was spotted without his wedding band again in September and November, it became apparent that there was trouble in paradise and his marriage might be in turmoil. McDermott was once again missing the piece of jewelry in April 2022 before playing hockey in LA, The Sun observed. Interestingly, in 2014, just 3 months after discovering that McDermott had cheated on her, Spelling was spotted wearing her wedding ring during an outing in Sherman Oaks, California. In late 2019, the actor updated her left hand with a new custom wedding ring, writing, "I'm so in love, and with you too, Dean McDermott. I chose emerald to represent May, my birthday, our wedding anniversary, and Mother's Day. May represents everything that is meaningful in my life." However, Spelling was seen pumping gas without her wedding ring in July 2021, just like McDermott. Dean McDermott put his sketchy side on full display by throwing shade at his sex life with Tori Spelling. Fans got their first sneak peek of this conversation with a teaser video in advance of a True Tori airing. A distraught Spelling is seen saying,
I can never give him enough sex. He's never gonna be happy with just me.
In the same Season 1 episode, McDermott had this to say about his and Tori's sex life. "We have 4 kids, so in the sex department, there were ebbs and flows. We would have sex once every 2 weeks. It wasn't fantastic. I'm insatiable. Sex was an escape, just like drugs and alcohol." This deeply affected Tori, who spoke out during her therapy session on the 8th episode of True Tori to say, "He was wanting more sex from me. He wanted more adventurous stuff. I was doing everything he wanted. I was doing things I'm pretty sure no married couple of 7 years with 4 tiny kids are doing at home." One of the most eye-opening moments in Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott's marriage was the revelation that Dean had stopped sharing a bed with his wife. After a series of ups and downs in their relationship, Spelling appeared on SiriusXM's Jeff Lewis Live in June 2021 and was prompted to discuss the status of her marriage to McDermott. When asked if they were sleeping in the same bed, she responded by saying,
"You know what? Right now, my kids and dogs sleep in my bed."
It was implied that McDermott was staying in the guest room, but Spelling corrected the error by saying, "He's in a room." Spelling went on to describe her sleeping situation in detail, revealing, "Since he left, this is not good, you guys. But since he left, he was gone for 6 months filming in another country. They all stayed with me, so I currently still have 4 in the bedroom with me who have yet to go back to their rooms." She said those children were 4, 8, 9, and 13 years old, and indicated that some had their own beds within her room. In November 2021, a source heralded the end of the couple's marriage, telling E! News, "It's for the best and has been a long time coming. They have been trying to work it out for years for the sake of the kids, but they truly do not get along. They have been sleeping in different rooms for months and haven't considered themselves to be married for a while now." Dean McDermott's relationship with his son Jack has been under scrutiny by fans since it was revealed that he had fallen behind on child support payments. But in 2018, McDermott gave fans yet another reason to look more closely at his relationship with Jack. The overwhelming majority of McDermott's family photos reflect the children he shares with Spelling, and not the son he fathered with Mary Jo Eustace. He drew a bit of criticism when he posted an image to his Instagram account and wrote, "Had a great Saturday family date night with the entire family. Loving hard on my kiddos and my beautiful wife, Tori Spelling. I'm a lucky man." One person felt that in mentioning the entire family, he had overlooked the absence of his first child, Jack. The curious commenter asked, "Where's Jack?" McDermott himself answered, "He lives in San Francisco." In 2019, the dad spoke about his son on his podcast, saying, "My son Jack is gay. He's this beautiful 6'4", beautiful Adonis. He's just a gorgeous kid." Dean McDermott smiled with his son and his ex-wife for Jack's college graduation in 2022, expressing his pride on Instagram. If you or anyone you know is struggling with addiction issues, help is available. Visit the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact SAMHSA's National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP 4357.